Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Lulu and Brooklyn clash, carjack breakup, Alexis set up by Sidwell. Fans had been anticipating a showdown between Lulu Spencer and Brooklyn Quartermain all week and were not disappointed. Time to hop right into the program to chat about all the fantastic moments. Jordan Ashford and Isaiah Gannon sizzle. Jordan Ashford is waiting for a meal delivery, so she answers the door with a face mask on. She then finds Isaiah Gannon instead. He adds that he physically collided with the delivery guy, thus Jordan's lunch isn't really arriving. She feels embarrassed to be in a face mask, but Isaiah enjoys the realness. He loves that he has seen Jordan in a manner that most people never will. He utilizes the 3 components in her kitchen to make pasta. They discuss Jen Sidwell and how Jordan still wants to bring him down, and they also exchange a few kisses. Jack Brennan walks away from Carly Spencer General Hospital program. Note that Jack Brennan is set to stop up at Bobby's for lunch, but before, he accepts a phone call from Vaughn, who is training Jocelyn Jax for WSB work. He tells him that he wants hourly updates on her progress and hangs up. Once inside Bobby's, Jack encounters Carly Spencer. Wearing his heart on his sleeve the night before evidently wasn't enough. Carly informs Jack that their lifestyles just don't go together because she can't deal with the danger, lies, and flings. He informs her that he is interested in a commitment, and she still rejects him down, so Jack gets up and departs. Meanwhile, Joss is immersed in some heavy-duty combat training with Vaughn. They are both throwing fists as he continues to verbally harass her. She claims that she wants to join the WSB to help people, and Vaughn informs her that if joining is a goodwill mission for her, she should go now. They continue sparring, and he knocks her down a few times before Joss strikes him where it hurts most, and Vaughn crumples to the floor. The mother of all confrontations, Lulu, arrives at the Quartermain home to find Brooklyn and Dante Falconeri in the foyer, chatting about the altercation between Sonny Corinthos and Tracy Quartermain. BLQ proposes that Lulu go and talk to Tracy about it, and Lulu tells her she's not doing her any favors. Brooklyn goes upstairs, and Dante leaves to check on Sonny. In another room, Lois Cerullo and Ned Quartermain are going in circles of their own, debating who is best for Gio Palmieri, Tracy or Sonny. Lulu follows Brooklyn upstairs and tells her to close the door. She then blurts out that she knows about the baby that was given up and how Dante never knew anything at all about it. BLQ starts to explain it's none of her concern, and again, Lulu maintains that she knows that Dante has a son out there that he knows nothing about. Brooklyn's eyes fill with sorrow at realizing that the baby had been a boy. Lulu says that she knows Brooklyn must have hired Martin Gray to discover her kid, and she denies it. Lulu shows her images of the notes Martin made, and adds that then Lois must be involved. Brooklyn reminds Lulu that she also got pregnant in high school and made a different option, but that she made the right one in her position. She informs Lulu that she did the same thing and that if she told Dante, then she may not have been allowed to make the option that was best for her. Lulu threatens BLQ that if she doesn't tell Dante soon, she is going to. After leaving the Q's, Dante goes to check out Sonny's new house and to make sure that he is okay. He thinks that Sonny's support of Gio is excellent, and he is on his side about who should financially help the college student. Dante also reassures Sonny that his being a part of Joe's life is a good thing. No one hates Wynear more than Alexis Davis, and being summoned to see Sidwell there can only signal problems, but she has shown there anyhow. Sidwell shows her a dagger that he believes belonged to her family, and he is right. Alexis tells him it's the knife that Helena Cassadine used to kill her mother when she was a youngster. She is confused because she threw it into the bay herself, so Alexis doesn't understand how he has it. She looks at it closely and grips it to be sure that it is the same knife. Sidwell offers to let her take it, but she insists it goes with the house. Alexis departs Windmere, and Sidwell picks up the knife by the blade, with a cloth, so only her fingerprints are on it. General Hospital spoilers, race against time, attraction deepens, big surprise. General Hospital spoilers and updates for the week of Monday, March 10th to Friday, March 14th tease a race against time, an attraction intensifies, and a big surprise. Anna Devane and Jason Morgan race against time, Lucky Spencer and Elizabeth Baldwin's relationship intensifies, and Trina Robinson gets a shocking surprise. Race Against Time, Making Packs Monday, March 10th. Anna and Jason are in a race against time to find Charlotte Cassadine and bring her back home before danger strikes. Jack Brennan put a kill order out on Valentine Cassadine, and they have to find Charlotte and Valentine before it's too late. Meanwhile, back in Port Charles, Isaiah Gannon and Jordan Ashford establish a pact. Elsewhere, Dante Falconeri wants Maxie Jones' help. And when Tracy Quartermaine is upset, Harrison Chase makes an arrest. Pleas and reconnections on Tuesday, March 11th. Portia Robinson pleads with Curtis Ashford while elsewhere, Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer reconcile. In the meantime, Brooke Lynn Chase is enraged most likely at her mother, Lois Cerullo, for maintaining secrets about her kid with Dante. Elsewhere, Sasha Corbin meets with Carly Spencer. Might she have opted to accept the job offer to work at the Metro Court? And elsewhere, Emma Scorpio Drake steps up for Gio Palmieri. Attraction develops and horrible news Wednesday, March 12th. Lucky and Elizabeth's attraction develops, while elsewhere, Rick Lansing sends Ava Jerome some horrible news. In the meantime, Drew Quartermaine is in for a tongue lashing and then some when Carly confronts him. Considering she spoke with Sasha the day before, it may be about his outburst at the Quartermaine home about Sasha's pregnancy. It's better late than never. Alexis Davis will seek out Curtis Ashford. And in the meantime, Ava will ask Nina Reeves for a favor. Intriguing encounters and covering tracks Thursday, March 13th. Lucas Jones had an intriguing encounter, perhaps a prospective new love interest? Elsewhere, Portia manages to conceal her tracks after being blackmailed last week by Drew. In the meantime, preparations that Lucky and Elizabeth devised are thwarted, personal plans, or another kind. Elsewhere, Anna is obliged to seek Brennan's assistance even though she doesn't trust him as far as she could throw him. As for Carly, she wonders her sentiments. Are these her feelings for Brennan? Spectacular surprise and a confession Friday, March 14th. Trina gets a spectacular surprise for her birthday, while elsewhere, Sonny Corinthos makes a confession. Could Sonny's confession have to do with what he knew or didn't regarding Gio? In the meanwhile, Christina Corinthos Davis demands answers. Dante will open up to Chase about the perplexing situation he's found himself in. Elsewhere, Lois gets some reassurance. General Hospital comings and goings, Golden Bachelorette's Guy Gansert makes guest appearance. Guy Gansert, the real-life doctor who came in second during the first season of The Golden Bachelorette, will make a special appearance on General Hospital next week. Gansert's General Hospital trip. Gansert didn't make the final cut on The Golden Bachelorette after Joan Vassos chose another man as her ultimate match, but he did make it onto his favorite soap program. Gansert told People that his part on GH came about when he told one of the producers on The Golden Bachelorette that he'd love to be on the soap he watched years ago while he was in college. Having had absolutely no acting experience, I said it, in kinda, jest, Gansert added. Within a couple of weeks, I received an email Zoom invitation with executive producer, Frank Valentini, and vice president, production and administration, ABC Daytime, Disney ABC Television Group, Dominic Nuzzi. After a 30-minute Zoom interview, they loved the idea of a real ER doctor who made it to the final two of The Golden Bachelorette. A month later, I received an offer to be on a small one-day episode. A Crimson Day on GH. The retired doc will appear on the Wednesday, March 12th episode of GH when he meets with Nina Reeves and Ava Jerome in the Crimson offices. According to People, Gansert plays environmental journalist Jeffrey, who makes quite an impression on Nina thanks to his way with words. When I read your moving piece about trekking through the archipelago of Tierra del Fuego, it took my breath away. I had never read anything like it, Nina tells Jeffrey when he visits her at her Metro Court office. GH also published a video preview for the episode featuring Watrose on Nina's desk chair with signature bachelorette rose petals all around her. She is also carrying a long-stemmed rose. We've never seen so many roses in Port Charles, the caption reads on X. Guy Gansert guest stars on #General Hospital next week, don't miss it. When Nina sees Jeffrey smiling at the door, she is highly fascinated and wants to learn more. With Nina and Ava involved in this brief cameo appearance, we're sure to see loads of fun flirting throughout these lighthearted GH scenes. General Hospital summary for the week of March 3, 2025. On General Hospital, Drew accused Curtis of contacting Congressman Henderson via Aunt Stella and stopping him from joining the House Appropriations Committee, and said he would get back at him. Ms. Wu offered Drew the evidence that Portia interfered with Heather's blood test. Spinelli and Lulu broke into Valentine's house looking for information as to Valentine's whereabouts. Shortly later, Lucy arrived with Sunny to show him the house because he's seeking for a new place. Christina stepped in and confessed to Sunny that it used to be Valentine's. Ultimately, Sunny liked it enough to buy it. Martin told Tracy that the Quartermaine crypt is on public land and that he would pursue charges against the family unless she dropped the cease and desist against Drew. Sidwell broke into the Quartermaine mansion and promised Sasha $250,000 to sing his praises to deception. Jason took Sidwell at gunpoint and questioned if he had firebombed Sunny's penthouse. Sidwell said he didn't, and Jason believed him. In Miami, Lucas and Brad bonded and started to become sexual until Brad admitted that he tricked Portia. Lucas left him after that. Lulu broke into Martin's hotel room and found his notes outlining the fact that Dante and Brooklyn had a baby in high school, but the baby was given up for adoption, and Dante had no knowledge about any of it. Sasha accepted Sidwell's offer. Nina and Carly played good cop/bad cop with Willow since she told them she and the kids were moving in with Drew. Drew blackmailed Portia with the proof. Jason discovered out that Charlotte is in Buenos Aires, and he and Anna raced off to find the girl. Brennan obtained word that Jocelyn is doing outstanding in her spy training. Lulu told Carly about Brooklyn's baby story. Tracy shouted at Sunny for forming an education trust for Gio and instructed him to get away. But Gio accepted it and signed the paperwork, defying Tracy. Kai was offered a part in Drew's pediatric sports program. Portia sought counsel and aid from Rick. Alexis went to Windmere and Sidwell showed her the knife he found, which was the one Helena used to kill Alexis' mother. Vaughn was training Jocelyn, pushing her hard. Carly told Sunny that Michael was able to call her from the German clinic. Lulu told Brooklyn that she knew about the baby secret. Jordan and Isaiah kissed. Alexis related the story of her mother with Sidwell. After she touched the dagger and left, Sidwell grabbed it with a cloth napkin. Carly broke up with Brennan because she didn't think he wanted to commit. In a hard training bout for fighting, Joss kicked Vaughn in the groin, sending him to the ground. Lulu threatened to tell the truth to Dante. Danger and déjà vu, training trepidation, domestic disagreements. Alexis Davis faces with danger and déjà vu, Jocelyn Jacks with training dread, while Ned Quartermaine and Lois Cerullo have some marital difficulties. Danger and déjà vu. Alexis will still at Windmere, talking to Jen Sidwell as he shows her the blade that Mikos Cassadine killed her mother with. She hasn't seen that since the night Julian Jerome pressed it against her throat on Robin's Bridge, years after Helena Cassadine threatened her with it. Alexis tries to disguise her terror as she wants to know where he acquired the weapon. The most essential question is, how does he know about it and the Cassadine heritage, and why did he want to buy Windmere and Spoon Island? Getting closer across town, Isaiah Gannon is talking to a frightened-looking Jordan Ashford during a General Hospital preview clip for tomorrow's broadcast. The two are becoming closer emotionally, and he tells her he is really interested in seeing what this may be. However, Jordan may or may not be, judging on her behavior and the look on her face. She isn't exactly making eye contact, and she's sort of been seeing Brick when he's in town. Brick resides on the West Coast and isn't in Port Charles often, and when he is, it's on a job for Sonny Corinthos, not exactly proper for a deputy mayor. Will she agree with Isaiah that she wants to see where they could go with a romance, or is she not quite ready to move ahead? Training trepidation at the WSB training school. The General Hospital preview shows Jocelyn suffering some training trepidation as her handler/trainer Vaughn warns her if she means any of that, here's the door. Jocelyn was forced into becoming a WSB agent when Jack Brennan covered up her killing Cyrus Renault. But Brennan had his eye on her even before that, as he was the one who tested her for the WSB with breadcrumbs pointing to Cyrus hiding. Jocelyn obviously appears nervous and probably having second thoughts about agreeing to this whole scenario. She has to lie to her friends and family and finding out she can't do what she thinks is right, just that which is for the greater good, emphasis on good. Dubious. Domestic disagreements at the Quartermaine estate. Ned and Lois are having a domestic quarrel and she appears terrified as he eyeballs her and says, "This time my mother's right." It seems the argument is over more than just the placement of a family crypt. Perhaps it's about her supporting Sonny Corinthos paying for Gio Palmieri's schooling. Of fact, neither Ned nor Lois was in the room when Tracy Quartermaine congratulated Gio for standing up to her twice. At the end of the conversation, Tracy didn't have an issue with Gio making up his own mind to sign the documents Sonny brought over right in front of everyone. She was impressed with his having the bravery to stand up to her. Unexpected visits at Bobby's. Carly Spencer receives an unexpected visitor, as she says didn't expect to see you here again. Chances are, it's probably Brennan, trying to correct the faux pas from the Metro Court when a possible romantic rival interrupted their dinner date. Carly will make a huge decision throughout the episode. May it be to give Brennan another chance to prove himself, or will it be to dismiss him? Why is she semi-dating the man she first smacked in the face with a serving dish only a couple years ago, presuming he was using her to get to Sonny anyway? He's done a lot of favors for her, but she's already thanked him. How grateful does she have to be? Hot seat heebie-jeebies. Lastly, it appears the Quartermaine home has another visitor, and it's Lulu Spencer giving Brooke Lynn Chase the hot seat heebie-jeebies. She confronts her about never notifying Dante Falconeri about their teen baby. Lulu is seen in a General Hospital preview clip for tomorrow's episode informing BLQ that she's not doing her any favors after what she's done. Previously, Carly recommended Lulu to keep her discovery of Martin Gray's scandalous messages to herself and not cause a fallout that may damage many lives. Apparently, Lulu agreed with not telling Dante, but she still feels she has to bash Brooke Lynn. The Quartermaine estate is huge, but might Ned and Lois hear the dispute that perhaps gets loud and generates additional inquiries from Ned, or worse still, Tracy? The evening air was cool as Trina followed Kai into the huge glass-walled museum, its high ceilings covered with futuristic installations that pulsed with shifting hues of blue and violet. A spectacular event was in progress, an interactive art display where the community contributed to a collective masterpiece. Trina was interested by the idea, but even more by Kai's enthusiasm. Dressed in casual yet fashionable apparel, Kai removed his brace, which made Trina pause with anxiety. She glanced at his wrist, knowing he normally wore it for support. "You sure about that?" she asked, her voice lined with worry. Kai offered her a comforting look, flexing his fingers. "I don't need it every hour of the day. Besides, this is about developing something fresh. I want to paint without restriction." Trina nodded, though she kept an eye on him as they approached the long row of blank canvases mounted across the gallery wall. Guests in smocks and aprons swiped dazzling strokes of color in a chaotic yet captivating show of artistic expression. She stepped atop a stepladder to reach the upper part of her canvas, dipping her brush into a deep, melancholy red. Kai stood behind her, his gaze steadfast as he added shadows and symbols onto his own painting. Among the forms, a dark shadow formed against an expanse of brilliant blue. Above it, a sharp question mark loomed. Trina saw and tilted her head in inquiry. "What's the meaning behind that?" Kai hesitated, then chuckled softly. "It's me. I don't know what comes next." His voice carried a hint of vulnerability. "Football was all I knew. And now, there's just this blank area. Except for you. You changed things." Trina's chest tightened at his words. She leaned out and dabbed a streak of gold onto the painting, connecting his question mark. "Maybe that's the beauty of it," she remarked. "Not knowing can be freeing." As their paintings took shape, their friendship intensified, sealed by the colors and emotions they poured into the art. At General Hospital, Brad adjusted his spectacles as he browsed through his tablet, waiting for an update from Felicia. The next conference in Miami was a significant opportunity, and he wanted to be properly prepared. Felicia approached with a warm smile. "I'll email you the full itinerary. You'll know exactly where you're supposed to be." Brad exhaled in relief. "Thanks. I really don't want to mess things up." Nearby, Lucas gave him an encouraging nod. "You've earned this, Brad. The hard work is paying off." Before Brad could respond, the atmosphere shifted. Selena Wu entered the room with her customary air of quiet command, her eyes piercing as it fell on him. Brad stiffened. "What are you doing here?" Selena's lips curled into a knowing smile as she held out a sealed envelope. "It's your resignation letter." His stomach fell. "What?" You're coming back to work for me. Lucas, sensing the tension, excused himself. Felicia, on a neighboring call, took note of the conversation and quietly motioned toward the nurse's station. Brad clenched his jaw. I have a career here, Aunt Selina. You had a career here, she corrected, her voice calm but stern. Cody failed to pay his debt, so you'll be settling it instead. I don't have that kind of money. Then you'll work off what you owe. Brad's thoughts raced, but before he could dispute further, Portia came into the corridor. Her acute eyes took in the scene, and she folded her arms. Selina, unless you're here for medical attention, I suggest you leave. Selina's smile didn't falter. I'm simply speaking with my nephew. He's working, Portia responded. Selina turned back to Brad. We'll be in touch. As she walked away, Brad let out a ragged sigh. Portia tightened her look at him. You good? Thanks for stepping in, he murmured. But my aunt has a long memory. Portia didn't flinch. So do I. Felicia returned with a printed itinerary. Here you go, Brad. He accepted it, feigning a smile. Appreciate it. Portia raised a brow. That matter we discussed earlier, it's handled? Brad hesitated before nodding. Yeah. It's done. As Portia walked off, Felicia gave him a sympathetic pat on the arm. Enjoy your trip. Brad hardly had time to answer when his phone chimed. A message from Selina came across the screen, meet me at the surf lodge. At the police station, Jason sat across from Anna, his countenance unreadable. I wasn't at Cyrus' cabin, he stated evenly. I have an alibi. Where were you? Anna asked. Jason met her eyes without hesitation. Drew's place. Outside, Jocelyn dashed in, headed right for ADA Turner. You arrested Jason? She demanded. Turner stayed calm. He's a suspect in Cyrus Renault's murder. He didn't do it. Jocelyn insisted. Inside the questioning room, Anna spotted the intense argument and groaned. She stepped out to intervene. Joss, let me handle this, Anna said. Joss shook her head. They're saying they're going to convict him. Turner's voice was forceful. The district attorney has removed Anna from the case due to her connection to Jason. She then turned to Jason. The sooner you cooperate, the better. You're not getting away with murder this time. Jason didn't blink. I'm not talking without my lawyer. Meanwhile, Joss turned back to Anna, her voice shaking. Jason's innocent. I know it. Anna narrowed her eyes. How exactly do you know that? Elsewhere, Drew had just finished setting up Scout's new bedroom when Alexis arrived. Maxie was busy arranging the decor, but Drew had another problem on his mind. Alexis sat down, her demeanor stern. The police confirmed it. Sam was murdered by Cyrus Renault. Drew felt the weight of the words settle over him. How do I tell Scout? You don't, Alexis said quietly. She believes her mother died of natural causes. Let her have that. Drew nodded slowly. Maybe you're right. Before she went, she placed a hand on his. I'm sorry. Later, when Drew answered the door expecting Willow, he was astonished to see Nina standing behind her. Nina crossed her arms. We need to talk. Maxie, sensing anxiety, hastily took Willow aside. Drew frowned. Whatever this is, Nina, it's not your business. You're rushing Willow into something she's not ready for, Nina remarked. And I think it has to do with Jason and Sasha. You're competing with your brother. Drew's jaw tightened. You don't know what you're talking about. You already have 2 kids, Nina remarked. What's this really about? Drew's gaze darkened. You're jealous of Willow. Nina's lips pushed together, but she had no instant response. Meanwhile, at the surf lodge, Brad cautiously faced Selina. Please, he urged. If I go back to working for you, I'll lose everything I built with Lucas. Selena drank her drink. Then give me something else. Brad hesitated before sliding a folder across the table. Selena skimmed the material before grinning. Heather's tampered test results. Clever. She folded the papers and tucked them away. Your debt is cleared. Enjoy Miami. Back at the station, Carly arrived just as Drew walked in. ADA Turner stepped forward. Jason claims he was with you last night. Drew's gaze went to Jason, Anna, and Carly. The entire room held its breath as Turner questioned, "Is that true?" Jason stood cuffed, awaiting his fate. Drew eventually answered, his voice steady. Yes. He was with me. The Scoop, General Hospital spoilers, previews, and teasers for the week of March 10, 2025. What to expect on General Hospital Monday, March 10th. Anna and Jason are in a race against time. Dante seeks Maxie's help. Jordan and Isaiah make a pact. Tracy is outraged. Chase makes an arrest. Tuesday, March 11th. Brooklyn is enraged. Portia pleads with Curtis. Dante and Lulu reconnect. Sasha meets with Carly. Emma steps up for Gio. Wednesday, March 12th. Liz and Lucky's attraction deepens. Carly confronts Drew. Alexis seeks out Curtis. Rick has bad news for Portia. Ava asks Nina for a favor. Thursday, March 13th. Lucky and Liz's plans are thwarted. Anna seeks Brennan's assistance. Carly questions her feelings. Lucas has an intriguing encounter. Portia covers her tracks. Friday, March 14th. Trina is in for a big surprise on her birthday. Christina wants answers. Sunny makes a confession. Dante opens up to Chase. Lois gets reassurance. Kevin can wait. General Hospital's John Lindstrom tells all about his new soap role. Fairmont Crest is going to welcome a nasty new resident. John Lindstrom will be making his Beyond the Gates debut on Friday, March 7th as he goes from General Hospital's psychiatrist Dr. Kevin Collins to casino owner Joey Armstrong, a guy who comes from the other side of the tracks. Lindstrom, along with Katie McLean, was a part of the surprise cast announcement during a January 2025 press conference. He defined his scrappy character as an entrepreneur who fought his way up in many ways, but he's never lost his charm. His smooth methods keep him drama-adjacent in the rich burbs. But Joey runs a casino, which if you've ever been inside a casino, you know that a casino is kind of like what a bar is to an alcoholic, he said. So, people can get into a lot of trouble around Joey, and Joey doesn't like trouble. He understands how to end difficulty, but he doesn't like trouble. Already, we've seen that Vanessa's hubby, Doug, has gotten himself into a bit of the aforementioned trouble thanks to a gambling debt. Doug might be amazing at heart surgery, but he doesn't appear to have that same luck when it comes to cards. Enter Joey. It's no surprise to see Lindstrom joining up with Beyond the Gates executive producer and showrunner Michelle Val-Jean again after he lauded her for being the most important voice for his General Hospital character. Head writer, Claire Labini threw Michelle the reins, and then she and I talked a lot about what ways Kevin could be differentiated from his twin brother and serial killer, Ryan, he revealed to Soap Opera Digest, as later covered by Daytime Confidential, in 2021. Michelle is an incredibly articulate, well-read person. I think Kevin's syntax, the way he speaks, never would have grown clearly without her. That admiration still stands for years later because Lindstrom praised her ahead of his new show's debut. She is the very best in the business, he stated at the January press conference. To come here and every day, every single member of this cast, this incredible cast and this crew, who are so happy to walk through those doors every day and be a part of something, to me, I think that is so groundbreaking. That's the most special aspect of it all. So, Kevin is going to stay on the back burner for now, as it's Joey's time to shine. Brooklyn's stunning news, Joss spy school escapades, Alexis terror. Brooklyn was taken aback when Lulu stepped into the Quartermaine residence and started picking at her, informing Brooklyn that she knew what she had done. Brooklyn informed Lulu she had no time for her antics and headed upstairs. After Dante left, Lulu discovered Brooklyn in her bedroom and gave her a shock. Lulu told Brooklyn that she knew she gave birth to Dante's baby son and never told him. Brooklyn was startled when she heard that she had a child but had no idea how Marty acquired this information. Lulu told her that Lois must have given it to him because Lois had visited Marty's hotel room the night before. Lulu didn't care about any of that. She only wanted Brooklyn to tell Dante the truth. Hard effort for Jocelyn. Jocelyn stayed motivated to get through WSB training. Her trainer, Vaughn, plainly perceived her as a poor little privileged girl who thought becoming a secret agent would be fun. He wasn't thrilled with her utopian approach and feared it could lead to corruption. Vaughn provided Joss some self-defense tips, but she proved she could take care of herself just fine when she needed Vaughn in a very delicate region. Alexis speaks up. Sidwell was genuinely astonished when Alexis told him that the knife he presented her with was used by her stepmother to kill her mother. Alexis even witnessed the murder when she was a tiny girl. Alexis' stepmother later handed the dagger to Alexis in her will, but Alexis maintained she had hurled it into the harbor years earlier. She wondered why it always seemed to come back to bother her. Alexis knew the dagger was the real deal and not a duplicate, but Sidwell wanted to hear more of Alexis' sad Cassadine tale. Does he genuinely not know it, or does he want to hear Alexis' side of the story? General Hospital's Rena Sofer ready to retire? Here's what she says on the subject. If Rena Sofer has to ponder giving up acting at all, we're glad at least that she's only talking about semi-retiring. The Emmy winner, who returned to her General Hospital role of Lois Cerullo in 2023 after more than a quarter of a century, recently told Woman's World that when she and husband Sanford Bookstaver divorced in 2017, I had no interest in dating, so I opened my life to a bunch of different things. Now that Sofer and the director/producer have retied the knot, we kinda want to semi-retire, so my bucket list is building a home that we don't have to ever leave if we don't want to. There will be a big studio downstairs for my woodworking and ceramics, and a dog room so we're able to foster and keep our animals and give them space outside. Thankfully, even semi-retirement sounds like it could still keep Sofer front and center on General Hospital. After all, Jane Elliott called it a day in 2017 and now is as much in the middle of things as Tracy Quartermaine as she ever was. Sofer's acting career stretches much beyond her 2 turns as Lois, of course. She made her start in daytime on Another World and Loving, and spent almost a decade playing bold and beautiful pot stirrer Quinn Fuller. She was also a regular on the OG Melrose Place and recurred on everything from Heroes to 24 to Just Shoot Me. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.